Is this thing on? All right, here we go. Followers. Why do we care so much about them? On today's episode of Kwik Shotz, we are going to go over followers, friends on Facebook, whatever you think that, thing is that makes you more popular. All right, so first off, I'm going to say I could care less about how many followers that I have on Instagram or Twitter or my podcast or how many subscribers I have on YouTube, because that's not what I'm trying to get across. I'm trying to deliver a message to people so that they can learn more about life. They can become more wise, things like that. So that's my take on followers. If I had 10 people listening to this podcast, like I usually do every week, I could care less, because that's what I don't care. If 10 people are listening, that means I got 10 people that I could help. If I get one person, think a little bit differently, or one person that, changes their mind about a certain subject that, could be for the better, that's the goal that I'm trying to accomplish. So let me get that out of the way before I go into the very unbiased opinion that I have on followers. It's so stupid. It is so stupid to care about how many followers that you have. Why is it so important? Why, when we were so young, that it was so important to have so many followers and all these different things, and how many friends that you have, right? The more friends you have, the more popular you were. I think this all stems back to middle school, and then I'm going to tell you the journey of why followers became important and ingrained in our minds. So followers started when we were in middle school, in elementary school, because you'd always ask, like, yo, how popular do you think I am? Right? It went through everyone's head as a little kid, right? Or, 8th grade, whatever, high school, whatever it may be. How popular am I? I thought that was the stupidest thing ever. I was like, why do I care about how many people know my name, or how many people, how many people I'm friends with? I'm putting that in quotes, friends with. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter about how many people you're posting content for. It shouldn't matter about how many friends you really think that you have. If you say that you have 100 really close friends, go tell that BS to someone else. You don't have 100 really close friends. You're telling me you contact all those 100 people once a day and tell them, like, oh, how's your day? Like, no, come on, guys. Come on, that doesn't make sense. No one in the right mind can connect with that many people that much. Like, Instagram and Facebook and social media has displayed this, mirage that you can have all these people follow your account and, you can become famous and whatever it may be. I think that's all stems back to middle school and high school, when we all cared about how popular we were. And at one time it was like, it made sense. As a little kid, you want more friends. You want more people to understand who you are and whatever it may be. I had to check if that was on real quick. But yeah, I just think that at a young age that we were in grade, that the more friends we have, the cooler that we were. And then it stemmed into like Facebook, when everyone started to, get on Facebook and get on Instagram, get on Snapchat or whatever it may be. And then they cared about how many, followers that they have, because the more followers that I have, the cooler that I am. Like, come on. Are you really cooler because you have 1,000 people following you, when you only have like 200 people actually interact with your content? Come on, man. You're lying to yourself. It doesn't mean anything. It does not mean anything. If you are a creator out there and you have 10 followers, be grateful for those 10 followers. At one point, I was sitting at like 50 followers, and I was like, cool. That's 50 people that are listening to what I say, and possibly, maybe I can help them out. That's what it's about. It's not about, maybe you make someone smile. You make one person smile out of those 1,000 or 2,000 or million people. That's what the goal is. It's not a popularity contest. It's not how many likes I get on a post. It's not how many people comment on a picture, like my comment, or whatever it may be. No, it's about how many people you can touch. It's about how many people that you can touch and help out. I just think that it's crazy in my mind how we were all so infatuated with this concept that the more followers that we have, the more cool, air quotes, cool that we were. And that makes no sense. I never thought that. I'm grateful for all my followers. I'm not going to say that, I'm grateful for all of you that like love my content. But the thing is, I do this because I like to do it. I'm not trying to become rich off of what I'm doing. I'm trying to help others. At the end of the day, if you're trying to gain a bunch of followers on Instagram and TikTok or whatever it may be, and the end goal is you becoming famous, like, come on, man. Like, be a little selfless. Understand that the people out there, there's so many people going through so many different things, and if your piece of content can, change their mind, make them smile, whatever it may be. I don't know what this podcast does to people. I hope I'm informing people about topics that help them understand more things. So that's why we're talking about followers today. But anyway, let me go into something else about followers in general. I think that it would be cool if 10 people were right behind me and listening to me talk. What if you thought about it like that? Have you ever thought about it like that? Like, if you're a small creator out there and you had 2 people like your picture, just imagine 2 people watching you draw or whatever it may be, or, edit up a video, or, watch your video with you. Like, instead of, worrying about, I only have 50 people. Like, that's not a lot. What do you mean that's not a lot? That's still something. It's better than 0. It's better than no one listening to what you have to say, right? My viewership on my podcast has been on a steady decline. It's not going up. It's not booming to the moon. I don't get 100 views on a podcast like I did for my first 2 episodes, but I don't care. I don't care. And here's why. I usually average 10 views an episode, probably around there. If I have 10 people listening to what I have to say, that's cool as frick to me. I don't know why. I can't curse. But anyway, that sounds really weird. But it's cool as frick to me to think that 10 people care what I have to say and 10 people are listening to me. What if you thought about it like that, guys? Instead of there's 7 billion people in the world and only, 10 people listen to my podcast. Like, oh, I'm such a loser. Like, no, you're not. Like, no, you're not. Everyone else starts out small. You'll eventually gain a following. You'll eventually get more listeners, more viewers, more subscribers, whatever it may be. But don't worry about that right now. Don't worry about it. The more you worry about it, the more you're going to try and sell out. The more you're going to try and make content that has nothing to do with what you do. The more, you're trying to please, the overwhelming majority of the people out there, right? Don't do that. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you smile. If you're an artist and you like drawing, go draw. Don't try and be a comedian. Do what you're good at. Do what makes you smile every day instead of worrying about what the other 7 billion people care about out there. I don't really have much else to say, but in conclusion, let's wrap this up. Don't worry about how many followers that you have. Who cares how popular you are? At the end of the day, if you're happy with what you're doing, that's good enough. If you had 10 people behind you listening to that podcast, watching you do an interview, like myself, be happy about it. It's better than 0. And don't worry about getting famous. Try and do what you like to do. And I'm sure that everything will work out in the end if you keep working hard at it. That's all I got today. That's another episode of Kwik Shotz. Hope you're getting through whatever you're getting through. And as always, keep on keeping on.